What was the learning curve like then? Do you remember your first day going in? What was that experience like?
My first day, I was so nervous. I remember I was so nervous. But my boss at the time, he did my interview, so I kind of had like a bit of a relationship with him to begin with. So on the first day, he kind of took me out and settled my nerves. And I think on my second day, people started to come into the office, and I got to meet everyone. And before I started F1, I had never properly written like a news story before. I'd only done features and podcasts, and so that learning curve of me thinking I'm a great writer and then going in and I'm struggling in the beginning, and I had to get the F1 way of writing, and the in-house style was so difficult. And even to this day, I'm still learning it, and I'm like 5 6 months in. But the amazing part is that each time I write, I feel more confident, I feel more comfortable, and the people will tell you that they're still learning as well. So people who have written for some of the best motorsport magazines or websites in the world will tell you they're still figuring out as well. So it helps to have such amazing people that I work with. But yeah, it was such a difficult learning curve, and I remember being so frustrated once I called on my mom, like, I'm not getting this, and she's like, it will take time. And I'm like, no, but I need to get it now. And yeah, but after a while, becomes repetitive. I think I've written like 4 or 5 news stories in a day now, and it becomes
Wow.
really easy. It becomes really kind of natural at a certain point. But yeah, it was a very difficult kind of learning curve for me.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially Formula One fans, listening to this now, you can imagine the transfer from being on the outside to being on the inside, right? And everyone has these expectations of what it might be like, what, people's kind of preconceptions of how it really works inside the office are. And then, contrasting that with what the reality is.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you first saw the advert for the job and when you had the idea that, hey, maybe working in Formula One could be a career path?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a F1 fan most of my life, so the idea of working F1 was something that never registered for me. But I was actually working at a law firm at the time because I actually studied to be a lawyer, but I hated it. And I started writing, doing sports writing in 2020 during the pandemic, and I joined this B into sports journalism, and they kind of got an email from F1 and said these 2 positions are open. Can you send these around? And someone sent it to me, and I got a message from a friend that says you better apply, because everyone knew I was a huge F1 fan, and I applied, and I kind of forgot about it for a couple of weeks, and then they got an email back saying there's the interview. Can you come in on this day? And I went, okay. I went to the interview, and I was like 2 minutes late because I live far away from the office. And everyone was sat there, and I went, oh God, I'm late on my interview day. This is the worst thing that you can do. And I was so upset. But the interview went really well, and they gave us the task, and everything went great. And I didn't hear from them for weeks, and I completely forgot about it. And I got a call one day, and I was just walking in the street. I just got a call, and I immediately I knew what it was about. Like I just saw the number and I went, "This is F1," and I got a call and told me, "Oh, you got it." And I got, "Oh, thank God! I needed to get out of that law job." But yeah, that day was just incredible for me. I remember it like, yeah, I just remember the feeling. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm working in F1. F1 are calling me to actually go work for them," and it's such an incredible feeling. And to this day, it's still kind of surreal at times.